You are welcome to this video. In this video, we're looking at how to perform bank reconciliation. In the course of the month, you would have been posting transactions on your QuickBooks with all the information available. Now, it's possible that there are transactions that have been captured in your bank statement that you have not recorded in your QuickBooks. And it's also possible that there are transactions you have recorded. For instance, you would have recorded payments or inflows in your QuickBooks but have not been captured in your bank. So at the end of the month, it is a routine to perform bank reconciliation where you reconcile transactions in your QuickBooks with that in your bank statement. On QuickBooks Online, to perform bank reconciliation, which we'll be doing right away for Elasco Chemicals Nigeria Limited, we'll come to the settings icon and go to reconcile. Now the first thing to know is which account do you want to reconcile. So which bank do you want to reconcile is what this question is asking. Now we have a working document for our QuickBooks Online training. We have a bank statement for Fidelity Bank for January 2023. So we'll be using our bank statement from Fidelity Bank to reconcile transactions that occurred in our QuickBooks, that were posted on our QuickBooks, and that which has been recorded on our bank statement. Now, having selected the account, our Fidelity Bank, the next thing is to enter statement ending balance. Now, the beginning balance is already showing, it's already displayed. Now, the statement ending balance, you get the statement ending balance from your bank statement. So this is our statement ending balance, 8,274,300.6. So enter it here, 8,274,300.67. So you enter the dates. Now, is the last date of the month you are reconciling. So we are reconciling for the month of January. So 31st of January 2023 is the date we will take, being the last day of the month of January. Okay. Now, you enter your service charge or interest earned, if any. Now, on your bank statement, you go to your withdrawal. For some banks, it is titled withdrawal. For some banks, it is called your debit column of your bank statement. You add up all your bank charges for that month. So you look through your debit column or your withdrawal column for the months you are reconciling, add up all the bank charges. So looking at this withdrawal side, we see that we have just two bank charges, this and this, giving us a total of 150. So enter 150 here. And we'll select our dates, 31st of January 2023. 31st of January 2023. Now, you equally check on your bank statement for all interest income that have been earned on this bank account for the month of January. Now, if you look at this bank statement, we don't have any interest income. So we'll leave it blank. Then we'll click on Start Reconciling. So this is the reconciliation window. Now at this point, we can see that there is a difference between our record on our QuickBooks and that our QuickBook balance and our bank balance. The difference of 20,155,433.60 kobo, right? So how do we perform the reconciliation process? Now this is the record of the transactions. These are all transactions for the month. So we'll go through each transaction. I will now check if this transaction has been recorded on our QuickBooks. We'll come by the end and check the box. Now, so let's do this. So the first transaction we are seeing here on the 9th of January was a deposit of this amount. So we'll now check on our bank statement. Do we have this deposit? On the 9th of January, we have it. So any transaction we have, we can we can make things easier by highlighting. So we'll highlight it that this transaction is on our QuickBooks. We'll now come and check it here. Now the next transaction is a sales receipt that occurred on the 13th of January of this amount from Susan Eric. We now check on our bank statement. Do we have that amount? We can see the amount here. We can highlight it. Now you could choose to just be identifying them. I'm just highlighting them so that I'll know the ones that have not been highlighted are the ones I know have not reconciled. So I'll click on this button. Now the next is a refund on the 13th of January, 14th of January of this amount. So I'll check if there's a refund of that amount. So I can see a refund. I'll highlight it just for me to know that I've reconciled that amount. So I'll come here and equally check this box by their side. Now the next transaction is on the 17th of January. It was a deposit of this amount, right? A journal. So I'll check on my bank statement. I'll check for that amount 161. I can see the amount here. So I'll check on it. Okay. Then I'll equally come here and check the box at the end. Now the next transaction, so I'll be looking at transactions from here and going to my bank statement, not from my bank statement, right? So if I look at this on the 17th of January, I have on that transaction here a payment. So I'll come here and click here and highlight because I can see that payment, right? The next is, then I'll equally check the box, come by the side and check the box. Now the next is a payment on the 21st of January to Jumeri, 52 million. Now check, do I have that payment? Yes, I can see it here. So I'll highlight the box, go back to my bank reconciliation, my statement, and check the box. Now we'll come to the next transaction on the 24th. We have under payment of 60,000. So I'll come here to PHCN, 60,000, right? Journal number 5 is a journal. So identify 60,000. This is a journal. I can see a journal on my bank statement record. So I've selected it. I'll come here and equally check the box. Check the boxes, right? Of this, okay, this PHC, and I've checked the box. Then the next transaction is on the 25th, a transaction of 250,000. So I can see it is a payment to Chemical Society of Nigeria. So I'll check the box, come to my QuickBooks and equally check by this side. Now the next transaction is a journal, still a payment on the journal number 5 on the 26th of 60,000. So I can see a payment here of 60,000. This is the journal. Select it. I'll come here. I'll come to my QuickBooks and check the figure. Now the next payment is an investment income on the 28th. So I'll check if I have an investment income. So I have it. Highlight it. Now come fully check the box. Now the next is a deposit from Institute of Science and Technology of this. So I'll check if I have that amount. So I can see the amount here. You see where the amount is. So I'm following, the order I am following is from my QuickBooks, right? So I can see this amount here. I can see this amount, but before that we have, okay, before that we have, I think we've skipped. Now there's a transaction, we are following it serially. On the 28th, there's a transaction of 2 million, a payment of 2 million. So this is it. So I'll check it, come here and equally check the box. The next transaction is on the 29th. It's equally a deposit, so 500,000. I'll check on my Excel sheet. I can see the transaction. Come to my QuickBooks, I'll check on the box. Now the next transaction which I've done is a transaction of a deposit from Institute of Science and Technology. So I can see this amount. So I can see it here and highlight it. Now the next transaction is a journal. We have 3 journals, 500, 300, and 300. Journal 7, 8, and 9. So I can see the figures here. I'll highlight them. I'll highlight all of them here. Right? So I'll come to my QuickBooks. I'll check all of them. Right? Check all the transactions. Now, having checked all the transactions, we discover that there's still a difference of 31,800. Now, what this means, if your difference is showing minus, it means that there is some transactions in your bank statements that have not been captured on your QuickBooks. So let's go to our bank statement and look at the total transaction. Now, we've taken care of our bank charges, so we can highlight them. We've taken care of our 2 bank charges. So the only transaction unreconciled is this amount. So how do we reconcile this amount now? It's a payment. Now the payment is for audit fees to Samuel Ade. So we have to record this transaction. So how we have to reconcile this transaction? To reconcile this transaction, this difference, we'll come here and click on finish now. Now it says hold on, your difference isn't 0 yet. So once your difference is 0, showing 0, it means you have reconciled. So QuickBooks is saying that you aren't ready to reconcile because your transaction in QuickBooks don't match your statement. When they match, you have a difference of 0. If you like to proceed, confirm the following below and then click add adjustment and finish. If I click add adjustment and finish, QuickBooks will make a journal entry, will make an entry to reconcile the difference. But if I want to record this difference, since I know what this is, so what I could do is I'll hold on with the reconciliation. I'll hold on with the reconciliation. I could click save for later, or I could just go back and post the transaction, come back and check everything, right? So let's post that transaction. It's a payment for audit fee. So we know that's the only transaction. We can now come here. You will click on save for later, but I don't want to click save for later. I just want to go and record the transaction. I want to go and record the payment. So I'll come to new. I'll come to expense. We are on this expense window, so we want to make the payment from our Fidelity Bank to reconcile that transaction. Now we are about to pay for audit fees, right? So it's a vendor. So we could just click on add new to set up that vendor, right? It's a vendor. So we just call, let's assume the name of the vendor. The vendor's name is Peak Associates. Right, so that's their name. So I'll just click on save. Right, then I'll come here, payment method, I'm paying by check. So I'll choose the category. So I'm paying for audit fees, audit and accountancy fees. The amount is 31,800. So it is not liable to tax, no tax. Right, no customer, so it's a payment. So I'll put my description, I'll say being payment for audit fees, right? Okay, so I haven't done that and entered my dates. Okay, the date for that transaction is on this 15th of January 2023. So I'll come 15th of January 2023. 15th of January 2023, right? So I can now click on save. So we've clicked on save. It has brought me back to my reconciliation window. I can now see the transaction here. I can now click on check. Now because I've checked the transaction, my difference is now 0. it means my reconciliation is complete. So I could click here, I will click on finish now. It says your account has, you reconcile this account. So I click on done. So we are done with the reconciliation process. So you could go ahead to print your reports. In the subsequent video, I'll be showing you how to generate different reports on QuickBooks Online. Thank you very much for watching this video, and see you in the next lesson.